Welcome to Episode 16, Access Control, Part 4, Advanced Topics and Metrics. In this session, we focus on the techniques that move access management from solid to exceptional, where decisions adapt in real time and evidence proves risk is dropping. Advanced does not mean complicated for its own sake. It means precise, observable, and repeatable. The aim is sharper trust decisions that adjust to context without slowing work. Think of access as a living system that tests its own assumptions, limits the blast radius of mistakes, and shows improvement with numbers people understand. That is the goal. Mature access is measured access. Building on that purpose, start with an honest evaluation of zero trust architecture, then decide where it adds value now. Zero trust says never assume trust based on network location. Verify each request with identity, device health, and context. Map the most sensitive paths, administrative consoles, data pipelines, and remote entry points, and test whether they already ask enough before allowing action. If not, add checks that are closest to the decision, such as device posture or recent authentication strength. Pilot one protected workflow, measure user friction and incident trends, and expand only when outcomes justify it. Start small, learn fast. From there, design continuous authorization so sessions are reassessed as context changes. A login is a moment. Authorization should be a stream. If a device loses compliance mid-session or a user moves from a low-risk network to a risky one, adjust rights or force reauthentication. Tie reassessment to signals you already collect: privilege change, location shift, unusual command patterns, or time-of-day rules. Set clear actions, keep, step up, or cut off, and log the reason every time. Continuous checks reduce the window for misuse without relying on perfect logins. Trust is current, not cached. Next, implement just-in-time elevation with firm guardrails. Instead of permanent admin roles, issue short-lived privileges tied to a ticket, an approver, and a time box. Require multi-factor authentication before elevation, record the session, and auto-revoke when the task ends or the timer expires. Provide pre-built change bundles like rotate keys or restart service, so most work uses scoped rights rather than raw admin. Treat recurring needs as signals to create safer task roles, not excuses for standing power. Short windows, narrow scopes, and clear trails keep speed without inviting abuse. Power should evaporate quickly. On top of roles, govern the attributes that drive decisions and test the policies that use them. Attribute-based access control relies on accurate traits, department, project, device, and sensitivity tags, so define sources of truth and sync times. Add validation rules that reject stale or conflicting attributes before they feed policy. Build a test harness where you can run what-if checks against policy changes using captured real requests. Measure false allows and false denies, then tune before production. Good attributes make policy smart. Tested policies make decisions safe. Bad data breaks both. Continuing that line, hunt for toxic combinations and prevent them before they land. A toxic combination is a set of rights that enables harmful actions when held together, even if each right is safe alone. Define pairs or trios that enable fraud or unapproved changes, like creating a vendor and paying a vendor, and block them in request workflows. Add runtime checks that flag emerging combinations created across systems, not just within one application. When a conflict appears, require a second approver or split duties immediately. Prevention beats cleanup. Separation stays active. To see the full picture, build a graph of entitlements and lineage. A graph links users to groups, groups to roles, roles to rights, and rights to resources across tenants where needed. With that map, you can ask useful questions. Who can reach this table? Which admin auths touch production? And what disappears if we remove this group? Track lineage for each edge, when created, by whom, and why, so you can explain today's access with yesterday's events. Graphs expose hidden shortcuts and accidental inheritance. They make complexity visible. Visibility eliminates surprises. Across complex estates, consider cross-tenant and provider inheritance edges carefully. A federation setting, a shared directory, or a managed service can grant unexpected reach if scopes are broad or defaults are permissive. Catalog each inheritance path, state its limits, and prove it quarterly with live tests. Where providers enforce controls, like session length or multi-factor rules, keep their attestations, then verify the control on your accounts directly. Build deny lists for external tenants that should never receive trust, and watch for new ones appearing after mergers. Shared boundaries need bright paint. Repaint often. Related to that, design break glass access like a safety system, then rehearse it. Keep emergency accounts disabled, store credentials in a vault, and require multiple people to release them. When used, alert immediately, record every command, and expire the access once stability returns. Run drills the way you would for recovery. Simulate a single sign-on outage or a lost administrator, and prove you can regain control in minutes. Document who decides, who observes, and how you restore normal state. Emergencies reveal culture. Practice until calm is routine. Automation can keep access clean without endless meetings. Schedule jobs that find stale memberships, unused roles, dormant accounts, and abandoned service credentials. Then open tickets with owners for removal. Automate default denials on expired contracts or projects. Use templates to convert one-off fixes into repeatable steps, and tag every change with the reason code that triggered it. Human judgment chooses, automation executes. Over time, the system tends itself. Less clutter, less risk. For measurement, track recertification lag and coverage with precision. Lag is the time between a review becoming due and it being completed. Coverage is the percentage of in-scope items reviewed within the window. Report both by system and by owner, and set thresholds that trigger attention, like any item more than 7 days late. Show trend lines to prove learning or expose backlog growth. Tie late reviews to follow-up actions, not scolding. Fresh reviews equal fresh trust. Stale reviews mean drift. Alongside that, quantify privileged session risk reduction. Measure the share of privileged actions performed through session brokers, the median duration of elevated sessions, and the percentage with recording enabled. Track how many standing admin accounts remain and aim to shrink that number every quarter. Link these measures to incidents or near misses to show real-world effect. Shorter sessions, fewer standing rights, and higher broker usage equal less exposure. The numbers tell a safety story. Let them. To keep assurance high, aim for audit readiness that does not slow operations. Embed evidence capture in normal tools. Elevation logs, approval tickets, and configuration exports should save themselves with timestamps and owners. Provide lightweight runbooks so engineers can answer common assessor questions without a scramble. When a control changes, update the narrative and the evidence pointer together. Readiness should feel like normal work done well, not a separate project launched under stress. Quiet proof is best. In closing, mature and measurable access governance blends smart design with steady validation. It brings zero-trust ideas into specific decisions, rechecks sessions as context shifts, and issues privilege only when needed and only for a moment. It curates attributes, blocks toxic mixes, maps entitlements, and rehearses emergencies. It automates cleanup, tracks review freshness, and counts how often power flows through safer paths. Most of all, it proves progress with clear numbers that guide action. Precision wins. Evidence endures. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit BareMetalCyber.com.